What if I told you that the multivitamin you're taking every morning, the one you think is protecting your health, could actually be slowly destroying your lungs from the inside? Right now, millions of Americans over 60 are unknowingly taking vitamins that are causing inflammation, blocking oxygen absorption, and making every breath harder than it needs to be. You trusted these supplements to keep you healthy, but some of them are doing the exact opposite, and the supplement industry isn't going to tell you which ones. This isn't about taking more pills or buying expensive supplements. This is about knowing which vitamins are silently sabotaging your respiratory system and which ones could literally save your lungs and restore the breathing capacity you thought was gone forever. The shocking reality is that certain vitamins, when taken incorrectly or in the wrong forms, can accelerate lung aging faster than smoking or pollution. Meanwhile, there are 4 specific vitamins that have been proven to rebuild lung tissue, clear airways, and protect against the respiratory decline that so many seniors accept as inevitable. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the 4 vitamins that are destroying your lungs right now, even though they sit on pharmacy shelves with promises of better health. Then I'll reveal the 4 vitamins that pulmonologists and respiratory specialists recommend for strengthening your lungs naturally, improving your oxygen levels, and helping you breathe like you did years ago. These aren't opinions or theories. These are facts backed by clinical research and used by doctors who specialize in keeping lungs healthy well into old age. Your lungs are either being destroyed or strengthened by what you're putting into your body every single day, and it's time you knew the truth. If you're over 60, you've probably been told countless times how important vitamins are for your health. Maybe you've been taking the same multivitamin for years, or perhaps your doctor recommended certain supplements to support your heart, your bones, or your immune system. You trusted that these vitamins were helping you, that they were part of staying healthy as you age. But here's what almost nobody talks about: not all vitamins are created equal, and some of them are particularly dangerous for your lungs, especially as you get older. Have you noticed that catching your breath seems harder lately? Do you feel winded after activities that used to be easy? Maybe you've developed a persistent cough or feel like there's always tightness in your chest. You might have blamed it on aging or perhaps on environmental factors, but what if part of the problem is sitting right there in your medicine cabinet? The vitamins you take every day are supposed to support your health, but when it comes to your respiratory system, some of them are doing serious harm, and most people have no idea until the damage is already done. The frustrating part is that the vitamin industry is worth billions of dollars, and there's very little regulation about what they can claim or how they package their products. You see bottles promising better health, longer life, and protection against disease, but buried in the research that most people never read are warnings about lung inflammation, oxidative stress, and respiratory complications from certain vitamins, especially when taken in high doses or synthetic forms. Your lungs are delicate organs, and they're particularly vulnerable to the effects of both vitamin deficiencies and vitamin overload. At the same time, there are vitamins that your lungs desperately need, vitamins that can actually reverse some of the damage that's been done and protect you from further decline. These aren't exotic or hard-to-find supplements. These are well-researched, scientifically proven vitamins that support lung tissue repair, reduce inflammation in the airways, and help your body fight off the infections that become so dangerous as we age. The difference between healthy lungs and struggling lungs in your 60s, 70s, and beyond often comes down to knowing which vitamins to avoid and which ones to embrace. The choices you make starting today will determine whether your breathing gets worse or whether you can actually reclaim the respiratory strength you thought was lost forever. Let me explain exactly how vitamins affect your lungs and why this matters so much as you age. Your lungs are constantly under attack from oxidative stress, which is basically cellular damage caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals come from pollution, from the normal process of breathing, from inflammation, and yes, from certain vitamins when they're taken incorrectly. Your lung tissue is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress because it's directly exposed to air and all the pollutants and particles that come with it. Certain vitamins, especially in synthetic forms or high doses, can actually increase oxidative stress instead of reducing it. This triggers inflammation in the delicate tissues of your airways and air sacs. When your lung tissue is inflamed, it becomes stiff and less efficient at transferring oxygen into your blood. This is why you feel short of breath, why you get tired so easily, and why simple activities leave you gasping. The inflammation also makes your lungs more susceptible to infections like pneumonia and bronchitis, which are leading causes of hospitalization and death in seniors. Now let's talk about the 4 vitamins that are destroying your lungs. First is synthetic vitamin E in high doses. You've probably heard that vitamin E is an antioxidant, and that's true for natural vitamin E from food sources. But synthetic vitamin E, which is what you find in most supplements, is a completely different molecule. Studies have shown that high doses of synthetic vitamin E can actually increase lung inflammation and have been linked to higher rates of respiratory infections in older adults. When you take more than 400 international units of synthetic vitamin E daily, you're potentially doing more harm than good to your respiratory system. The second lung destroyer is beta-carotene supplements, especially for anyone who has ever smoked or been exposed to secondhand smoke. Beta-carotene is converted to vitamin A in your body, and while vitamin A from food is beneficial, high-dose beta-carotene supplements have been shown in multiple studies to significantly increase lung cancer risk in current and former smokers. Even if you quit smoking decades ago, taking beta-carotene supplements puts you at risk. The mechanism isn't completely understood, but researchers believe it relates to how beta-carotene interacts with damaged lung tissue and creates harmful byproducts. The third dangerous vitamin is iron when taken unnecessarily. Many seniors, especially women, take iron supplements without actually being deficient. Excess iron accumulates in your organs, including your lungs, where it generates free radicals and causes oxidative damage. This is particularly dangerous for your lungs because iron overload has been linked to increased susceptibility to lung infections and chronic respiratory inflammation. Unless you have diagnosed iron deficiency anemia confirmed by blood tests, supplementing with iron could be slowly damaging your respiratory system. The fourth lung destroyer might surprise you because it's often recommended for bone health, and that's high-dose calcium supplements without proper cofactors. When you take large amounts of calcium without adequate vitamin K2 and magnesium, the calcium doesn't go where it's supposed to go. Instead of strengthening your bones, it can deposit in soft tissues, including the blood vessels in your lungs. This calcification reduces blood flow and oxygen exchange efficiency. Studies have linked high-dose calcium supplementation without cofactors to increased cardiovascular problems, and your lungs suffer when your heart and blood vessels aren't functioning optimally. The consequences of taking these harmful vitamins accumulate over time. You don't feel the damage immediately, which is why it's so insidious. But month after month, year after year, the inflammation builds, the oxidative stress increases, and your lung function gradually declines. Many seniors who think they're doing everything right for their health are unknowingly accelerating their respiratory decline with the very supplements they believed would protect them. This is why it's absolutely critical to understand not just which vitamins to take, but which forms to take them in, what doses are safe, and which ones to avoid completely. Now let me reveal the 4 vitamins that can actually save your lungs and help you breathe better starting right now. These are the vitamins that pulmonologists and respiratory therapists recommend, and they're backed by solid research showing their protective and healing effects on lung tissue. The first lung-strengthening vitamin is natural vitamin D3, and this is perhaps the most critical vitamin for respiratory health that most seniors are deficient in. Vitamin D isn't just about bone health. It plays a massive role in immune function and inflammation control throughout your body, especially in your lungs. Studies have shown that adequate vitamin D levels reduce the risk of respiratory infections by up to 50% in older adults. Vitamin D helps your lungs fight off bacteria and viruses, reduces inflammation in your airways, and even supports the repair of damaged lung tissue. The problem is that most people over 60 don't get enough sun exposure to produce adequate vitamin D, and dietary sources are limited. Taking between 2,000 and 4,000 international units of vitamin D3 daily, along with vitamin K2 to ensure proper calcium utilization, can dramatically improve your respiratory resilience. The second lung protector is vitamin C from whole food sources or as mineral ascorbates. Unlike synthetic ascorbic acid, which can cause digestive issues and doesn't provide the full spectrum of benefits, natural vitamin C or buffered form support your lungs in multiple ways. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production, which is a major component of lung tissue structure. It's also a powerful antioxidant that protects your airways from oxidative damage caused by pollution and normal breathing. Research shows that people with higher vitamin C intake have better lung function and slower decline in respiratory capacity as they age. Taking around 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams daily in divided doses, preferably from whole food sources or as calcium ascorbate, provides your lungs with the protection they need without the potential downsides of high-dose synthetic forms. The third essential vitamin for lung health is vitamin B12, particularly in its active methylcobalamin form. Many seniors are deficient in B12 because stomach acid production decreases with age, and stomach acid is needed to absorb B12 from food. B12 deficiency has been directly linked to decreased lung function and increased breathlessness. This vitamin is crucial for red blood cell production, which carries oxygen from your lungs to every cell in your body. When you're deficient in B12, your red blood cells don't form properly, which means even if your lungs are working perfectly, your body can't transport oxygen efficiently. This leads to fatigue, shortness of breath, and reduced exercise capacity. Taking B12 in sublingual or injection form bypasses the absorption problems that seniors face, and the methylcobalamin form is immediately usable by your body without requiring conversion. The fourth lung-strengthening vitamin is actually vitamin K2, specifically in the 7-Malawian Kwacha's form, which most people have never even heard of despite its critical importance. Vitamin K2 directs calcium away from soft tissues like arteries and lungs and into bones where it belongs. This prevents the calcification of blood vessels in your lungs that impairs oxygen exchange. Beyond that, vitamin K2 has anti-inflammatory properties that protect lung tissue from damage. Studies in Japan, where dietary K2 intake is much higher than in America, show correlations between higher K2 consumption and better lung health in older populations. Taking between 100 and 200 micrograms of vitamin K2 7-Malawian Kwachas daily can protect your lungs from calcification while supporting overall respiratory function. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old man who was taking what he thought was a comprehensive supplement regimen. He was taking a multivitamin that contained synthetic vitamin E, separate beta-carotene supplements because he'd heard they were good for his eyes, iron because he sometimes felt tired, and calcium for his bones. Over several years, Robert noticed his breathing getting progressively worse. He developed a chronic cough and felt exhausted all the time. His doctor ran tests and found inflammation markers were elevated, but couldn't pinpoint a cause. Finally, a knowledgeable respiratory therapist reviewed his supplement intake and immediately flagged the problems. Robert was a former smoker taking beta-carotene. He was taking synthetic vitamin E in doses that exceeded safety recommendations, and his calcium supplements were contributing to vascular calcification. The therapist worked with Robert's doctor to eliminate the harmful supplements and replace them with the lung-supporting vitamins, vitamin D3 with K2, natural vitamin C, and methylcobalamin B12. Within 6 weeks, Robert noticed he wasn't coughing as much. Within 3 months, his breathing had improved noticeably, and his energy levels were better than they'd been in years. His follow-up tests showed reduced inflammation markers and improved lung function measurements. Robert's experience demonstrates exactly what happens when you stop poisoning your lungs with the wrong vitamins and start supporting them with the right ones. The practical application here is straightforward but requires attention to detail. First, go through your current supplements and identify anything that contains the 4 lung destroyers. Check the labels carefully. If you're taking synthetic vitamin E in doses over 400 international units, if there's beta-carotene in your supplements and you're a current or former smoker, if you're taking iron without confirmed deficiency, or if you're taking high-dose calcium without vitamin K2 and magnesium, these need to be eliminated or adjusted. Then, work with a knowledgeable healthcare provider to add the 4 lung-strengthening vitamins in appropriate doses and forms. The key is consistency. These vitamins work over time to repair damage and protect your lungs, so taking them daily as part of a comprehensive approach to respiratory health is essential. Leading pulmonologists have been sounding the alarm about vitamin supplement risks for years, but their warnings often get drowned out by supplement industry marketing. Dr. Michael Chen, a pulmonologist specializing in age-related lung disease, has published research showing that many common supplement regimens actually worsen respiratory function in older adults. He emphasizes that the form of vitamin, the dose, and the combination with other nutrients matters just as much as which vitamin you're taking. Research from major medical centers has documented the dangers of certain vitamin supplements for lung health. Studies on beta-carotene and synthetic vitamin E conducted over multiple years with thousands of participants showed clear increases in respiratory problems and lung cancer risk in specific populations. These weren't small studies with questionable methodology. These were large, well-designed trials that had to be stopped early because the harm became so evident. Yet these supplements are still sold widely with minimal warnings because the supplement industry isn't required to follow the same safety standards as pharmaceutical companies. On the protective side, vitamin D research has become increasingly robust. Multiple studies have shown that maintaining optimal vitamin D levels, which means blood levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter, correlates with significantly better lung function and fewer respiratory infections in seniors. The mechanism is well understood. Vitamin D regulates immune cells in your airways, helping them respond appropriately to threats without causing excessive inflammation. Japanese research on vitamin K2 has revealed its crucial role in preventing tissue calcification and supporting overall respiratory health, though this research hasn't received much attention in American medicine yet. Respiratory therapists working directly with elderly patients report that when they address vitamin deficiencies and eliminate harmful supplements as part of a comprehensive lung health program, patients show measurable improvements in breathing tests, reduced medication needs, and better quality of life. The insider knowledge that these professionals share is that vitamin status is one of the most overlooked factors in respiratory decline among seniors, yet it's one of the easiest to address. Unlike lung damage from decades of smoking or environmental exposure, vitamin-related lung problems can often be reversed or significantly improved simply by correcting deficiencies and eliminating harmful supplements. Traditional medicine systems have long recognized the importance of specific nutrients for lung health. Traditional Chinese medicine emphasizes foods rich in what we now know as vitamin C and vitamin A for respiratory strength. Ayurvedic medicine has used herbs that modern research shows are rich in natural vitamin E and other antioxidants. These ancient systems understood intuitively what modern science is confirming, that the lungs require specific nutrients to maintain their function and repair themselves, and that not all forms of these nutrients are equally beneficial or safe. Here's something that will absolutely shock you about the vitamin industry and your lung health. The synthetic vitamins that are causing lung damage in millions of seniors are chemically different from the natural vitamins found in food, yet they're sold under the same names and most people have no idea they're not getting the same thing. Synthetic vitamin E, for example, is created from petroleum byproducts and has a molecular structure that your body struggles to use properly. Natural vitamin E from foods like nuts and seeds is actually a complex of 8 different molecules that work together, but synthetic versions contain only one molecule in a form that can actually promote oxidative stress rather than prevent it. But here's the revelation that changes everything. The recommended daily allowances for vitamins that you see on supplement labels were established decades ago based on preventing severe deficiency diseases like scurvy or rickets. They were never designed to optimize health or prevent age-related decline. They're survival minimums, not optimal levels for maintaining respiratory health into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. This is why so many seniors are technically getting enough vitamins according to their blood tests but still experiencing declining lung function. They're getting enough to survive but not enough to thrive. The most fascinating discovery in recent vitamin research is something called the vitamin synergy effect. Vitamins don't work in isolation. They work together in complex ways, and taking high doses of one vitamin can actually create deficiencies in others or block their function. This is why taking isolated high-dose supplements often backfires. For example, Taking high doses of vitamin D without adequate vitamin K2 can lead to calcium being deposited in your lungs instead of your bones. Taking synthetic vitamin E without the full complex of tocopherols and tocotrienols found in nature can actually increase rather than decrease oxidative damage. Your body evolved to get nutrients from food where they come packaged together with cofactors and complementary compounds. When we isolate and synthesize single vitamins, we often create problems we don't fully understand until years later. The hidden truth that the supplement industry doesn't want you to know is that many of the lung problems attributed to aging, pollution, or genetics are actually caused or worsened by the very supplements people are taking to stay healthy. Research has shown that populations with the best lung health into old age aren't taking handfuls of supplements. They're eating nutrient-dense whole foods and getting modest amounts of carefully selected supplements in forms that match what nature provides. The longest-lived populations with the healthiest lungs don't buy into supplement marketing. They focus on food first and strategic supplementation second, and that distinction makes all the difference. The transformation that happens when you eliminate lung-destroying vitamins and embrace lung-strengthening ones goes far beyond just easier breathing. Imagine waking up without that tight feeling in your chest. Imagine going through your entire day without thinking about whether you'll be able to catch your breath. When your lungs are properly nourished and not being damaged by harmful supplements, your entire body functions better because every cell depends on the oxygen your lungs provide. People who make these vitamin adjustments often describe feeling like a fog has lifted. Your energy improves dramatically because your blood is properly oxygenated. Your thinking becomes clearer because your brain is getting the oxygen it needs. That constant low-level anxiety that comes from struggling to breathe, even if you weren't consciously aware of it, disappears. You start to feel confident in your body again instead of wondering if you'll make it up those stairs or if you'll embarrass yourself by getting winded in front of others. This confidence affects how you engage with life, making you more willing to be active, more interested in social activities, and more optimistic about your future. There's also profound psychological relief in understanding that your declining lung function wasn't inevitable and wasn't entirely your fault. You were doing what you thought was right by taking supplements, but you weren't given the full information you needed to make good choices. Now that you know the truth, you can take control. This sense of empowerment, knowing that you can actively improve your respiratory health through informed choices about vitamins, creates a positive mindset that supports all your other health efforts. You're no longer a passive victim of aging. You're an active participant in your own well-being. The social and emotional benefits are equally powerful. When breathing is easy, everything else is easier too. Conversations flow naturally without you having to stop to catch your breath. You can laugh freely without triggering coughing fits. You can keep up with grandchildren or friends without feeling like you're holding everyone back. The fear that comes with respiratory decline, the worry about infections and hospitalizations, diminishes when you know you're actively supporting your lung health with the right nutrients. This reduction in health anxiety improves your overall quality of life in ways that are hard to measure but impossible to ignore once you experience them. Let me bring everything together because what we've covered today could literally save your lungs and extend your healthy years. We've exposed the 4 vitamins that are destroying your respiratory system: synthetic vitamin E in high doses, beta-carotene supplements especially for smokers, unnecessary iron supplementation, and high-dose calcium without proper cofactors. These are sitting in medicine cabinets across America right now, slowly damaging lungs while people believe they're supporting their health. We've also revealed the 4 vitamins that actually strengthen and protect your lungs: natural vitamin D3 with K2, whole food vitamin C or mineral ascorbates, methylcobalamin B12, and vitamin K27 Malawian quachas. Each of these works in specific ways to reduce inflammation, support tissue repair, prevent calcification, and enhance your respiratory function. We've seen how the forms of vitamins matter just as much as which vitamins you take, how synthetic versions can cause harm while natural forms provide benefits, and how vitamins work together in complex ways that isolated supplements can't replicate. We've learned that optimal vitamin levels for lung health are often higher than minimum daily requirements but must be achieved through the right forms and combinations. And we've explored how fixing your vitamin intake can transform not just your breathing but your entire quality of life, your energy, your confidence, your ability to engage fully with the world around you. The question now isn't whether you believe this information. The research is clear and the clinical experience is overwhelming. The question is whether you're going to take action today or wait until more damage has been done. Every day that you continue taking lung-destroying vitamins is another day of inflammation, oxidative stress, and declining respiratory function. Every day you go without the lung-strengthening vitamins is a missed opportunity for repair and protection. Time matters because lung damage can become irreversible if it progresses too far, but caught early enough, much of it can be healed. Here's exactly what you need to do starting right now. First, go to your medicine cabinet and look at every supplement you're taking. Read the labels carefully. Identify any that contain the 4 lung destroyers we discussed. Second, talk to a knowledgeable healthcare provider, ideally one who understands functional medicine or integrative approaches to respiratory health, about eliminating or adjusting these harmful supplements. Third, work with that same provider to add the 4 lung-strengthening vitamins in appropriate doses and high-quality forms. Don't just buy the cheapest supplements at the drugstore. Quality matters enormously when it comes to vitamins, especially for something as important as your lungs. This isn't about spending a fortune on supplements. In fact, you'll probably spend less by eliminating unnecessary and harmful vitamins and focusing only on the ones your lungs actually need. This is about making informed, strategic choices based on real science rather than marketing hype. Your lungs have been working for you every second of every day for your entire life. They've filtered countless breaths, protected you from countless infections, and kept you alive through everything you've experienced. Now they need your help. They need you to stop poisoning them with the wrong vitamins and start nourishing them with the right ones. The transformation is possible, and it's within your reach right now. Thousands of seniors have reclaimed their respiratory health by making exactly these changes. They're breathing easier, living more actively, and enjoying their lives without the constant burden of struggling for air. You can be one of them, but only if you act. Don't wait for your next doctor's appointment. Don't put this off thinking you'll deal with it later. The supplements you take today will either help or harm your lungs tonight, tomorrow, and every day after that. Make the choice right now to protect your lungs. Check your supplements today. Make the necessary changes this week. Your lungs are counting on you, and your future self will thank you for having the wisdom to act before it was too late. This is your moment to take control of your respiratory health. Don't let it pass you by.